Today, I'm going to discuss why salesman fails in a job. What is the good reasons behind? Because he started his career to become a salesman, but at point of time, he fails and leaves the organization and he spoils his career. But we know the selling is an area where you can climb as early as possible. You can grow faster, but he is deprived because he cannot achieve. And that's the reason why I'm going to say a few words, few points, why the salesman fail if he's not serious at the very beginning of his job. Number one, when not committed and devoted to work. When salesman is not committed that I must win, and if he's not devoted to his work from where he built up his career, then obviously he will fail. Number two, lack of proper attitudes. What is more important in people's life, in man's life, is an attitude. If you have a positive attitude, you will grow. And if you have a negative attitude, you will drown. And that's the reason why. You must have a proper attitude because you're a salesman. And you need to work with the people. And they're your prospect and they're your customer. And what is the proper attitude is that you start loving people. If you don't love people, you cannot become a salesman because you will be working with people only. So, proper attitude for a proper job is very important. Number two, not focus in self-development. He don't know where he want to go. He must remember that he needs to develop himself. There is no one in the world who can develop you. You are the only one who can develop yourself. And if he is not focused to grow for self-development and learning, he will not do good in sales calls. Number four, salesperson not customer-oriented. If the salesman is not customer-focused, if you don't believe that his earning depends on a customer, his promotion depends on customer, his existence depends on customer. If he is not customer-oriented, then he will not grow. Remember, as a salesman, he has no choice. Choice is only for the customer. So, he must be focused to his customer and he must be customer-oriented. Whatever my customer wants, I am there. Number five, very shallow knowledge about the profile of his prospect. This is very important, I must say. Whenever you make a sales call to a prospect, try to know his profile. Who is he? He's an old man? He's a young man? He's a lady? He's a Christian? He's a Muslim? You need to know. Because you need to make a tailor-made presentation. So more you know about him, more you can influence him. And that's the reason why salesmen should have proper knowledge of a prospect. If you have a shadow, you will lose. And you'll be lost again. Number six, lack of product knowledge. This is another important thing for the salesman because the product is your baby. If you don't know your baby, how can you take care of him? If you don't have a product knowledge, I always say that customer may ask you 100 of questions because he's going to take the decisions. 99 question you answered correctly, and the 100th one you said, I don't know. It will go down and ended up to zero. So you must have a precise product knowledge. Number seven, could not understand the dynamics of markets. How the market moves. You must have a precise knowledge of the market. What really makes the markets volatile? Why the market is going down? Why the market is excited? What people are looking for? What customers are looking for? You must know about the markets. If you don't know your market, you cannot work in it. Very simple. Number eight, next knowledge about competitors' activities. You must have a very precise knowledge about the competitors. What competitors are working, what they are doing, what they are bringing, what are the new information they are carrying to the market. If you don't know their activities, what strategy that you are going to take, how are you going to counter them? So knowledge about competitors is extremely important because you are in a war. Your enemy is a competitor. You need to know what weapons they are going to use. So, if you have a less knowledge about the competitor's activities, you'll be lost today. You will stand nowhere. Number 9, difficulties in communicating. We, the salesman, we don't carry product. We carry words. And we speak. We communicate with my prospect. We communicate with my customer. And if you don't know how to communicate, and if you don't know how to influence him, what are you going to sell? Why people will buy? The people, I always say, they don't buy the product. They buy the words. Then they says, I want to buy. As salesman, his only job is to sell words. So the people become excited and say, I want to buy. If you have a very difficulties in communication, you will not be able to influence your customer. And you will not be able to sell. Number 10, lack of pre-call planning. Whenever you meet your customer or your prospect, you must have a plan before you meet him. That's what you call a pre-call planning. You need to know what you need to carry, what literature you need to carry, what leaflet you need to carry, what brochure you need to carry, what words you're going to say, when you're going to meet him, what will be your dress up, what etiquette that you have to follow. You must plan before. Because in this world, the professional cannot make mistakes. Once you make a mistake, you're gone. You'll go with the wind. And your existence will not be there. Number 11, post-call analysis. What is that? Whenever you meet your customer or prospect, and after your presentation, after your sales call, you must come out and say, where I made a mistake, why I did win the game, what were the reasons behind. You need to analyze your SWOT, what we call a SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. You must analyze it so that you cannot make mistakes again. And if there is a strength, you can follow again. And that's the reason why pre-call planning, post-call analysis. You must analyze your call. Number 12, failure to ask buyer to buy. Many of the salesmen, they give a good presentation, they make a wonderful presentation, and finally they fail to ask. They think, as I made the presentation, the buyer will buy. No, buyer will not buy until you ask, sir, can I make a voucher? Can I make an invoice? Can I make an order? This is you need to ask the customer. And that's very important. If you don't ask, why they will buy. And if you don't sell, you're not a salesman. Because your performance is selling, nothing else. So these are the 12 things, that's what I discussed today. There is many, but please look into these 12 things, that's what I said, so that you win rather than you fail. Your job is to win and to grow.